Let's talk about 12 running backs that we need to be drafting in our fantasy football drafts here in 2023 to optimize our teams. But before we do so, you must hit that subscribe button right now. Stop missing out because we're covering players that you need to draft, pick up on waivers, and look at for your fantasy teams, whether it's redraft, DFS, dynasty, all season long, all year long, helping you out win your leagues, and you need to click that button so you can stop missing out. But let's dig in. Let's look at these 12 running backs. Let's see who we're looking at today that could help us win our league. First running back today, Bijan Robinson, RB3 and ADP. High-end draft capital. The Falcons drafted him up early in the first round, and they plan to use him. Usually running backs who are drafted that high in the draft give you at least RB2 production, if not top tier RB1 production. This is something that we could see from Bijan Robinson this year. Tyler Algier got 1K yards last year. Why can't Bijan Robinson? He is elite in the passing game for a running back. He's already one of the best pass-catching running backs in the league. He forced 104 missed tackles last year. He's a tackle-breaking machine, led all of college football, and on top of that, he sees downfield targets, which is rare at the running back position because most of those are behind the line of scrimmage, which means he gets more output per reception, 16.5 yards per reception last year at Texas. This is a player that we do not normally see come out of the draft. You can put him out in the slot. You can give him carries. He is a weapon. He's going to get workload, and people are expecting him to be a top-tier asset. A lot of people are drafting him a lot higher than ADP because they know they don't want to miss out on this. Bijan Robinson is a guy you want to look at here in drafts and not be afraid of him because he's a rookie. Same thing here with Jahmyr Gibbs, RB12 and ADP. 103 catches on his career. This guy can catch the ball in the backfield. We've seen this in the training camp clips. He's very electric in space. He's very electric catching the ball in the backfield. Can get you yards after the catch. Can also get you yards after contact. 3.39 yards after contact per attempt. This guy can run it between the tackles a bit, catch the ball in the backfield. He's drafted in the top 12. Running backs drafted in the top 12 tend to transition rather well to fantasy football, even in their rookie season. We should expect him to get workload in the passing game. We should expect him to get a lot of usage. We should expect him to give us some fantasy results here. As long as he's healthy on the field, we should be good to go. Next, DeAndre Swift at RB23. This is the price tag where we probably should have been drafting him all along. This is like the sweet spot, it feels like. Might be a little bit of a discount. Look at the advanced metrics, the efficiency metrics on him, though. 6.3 yards per touch last year. 1.78 yards per route. Very, very, very good for a running back. 8.1% breakaway run rate. One of the highest in the league at the position. 1.13 points per opportunity. So whether he's getting a target or a touch, he's productive. When he's on the field, he's scoring fantasy points because he's explosive. He's using the passing game. Now we're in an explosive offense still. He was one in Detroit, but the injuries, that is the problem. DeAndre Swift's not the problem. When he's on the field, he is looking good for fantasy. 13.7 PPR points per game, but he has to be on the field. That is the question, but now you're getting him at RB23 price tag instead of like almost first round price tag. This is a good deal for fantasy gamers if you're looking for a player with upside who is very efficient and is good on the field. Next, Rachaad White, RB27 ADP. We had a scare the other day with the knee, but things are looking good. We did a video on that. Check that in the archives. He is good to go. He is healthy. He will be there week 1 unless something else happens. 12% target share in his last 6 games because this guy's good in the passing game. That was on his resume coming out for college. This guy can run it between the tackles too. He has some size. Baker Mayfield either chucks it deep downfield or hits the flat to his running backs. 23.7% of his targets goes to running backs. So it's either YOLO balls or going to the backs. That's pretty much it. Sean Tucker's there. He's a guy we've been watching. I just have him there as a note because we like Sean Tucker, UDFA, prolific college career. We're watching him. He could be an impact if things really ramp up for him. But right now, Rachaad White is the guy, and you are getting him at a good discount if you are a ZRB drafter or if you're like taking these middle round running backs. Next, James Cook, RB29 ADP. Targeted on 30% of the routes that he ran. He gets a good amount of targets going his way when he's on the field. Pass protection is all right there, but we're going to use him more in the passing game when he's running routes. That's a good thing to look at. Josh Allen has 35 attempts a game. This team likes to throw the football. They like to sling it downfield. They are explosive, and they will sling it to the running back. 19.6% of his targets goes to running backs. That gives Cook some opportunity here. Damien Harris is there, but he's going to take goal line work. He's going to be used in short yard situations, pass blocking situations. James Cook's going to be rolled out in the passing game. That's where you're going to see the upside. Next is Damien Harris. We just talked about him. RB38 and ADP. The discount is grand. The situation is grand. And that is what we're buying into here. Goal line situations plus opportunity is available. Devin Singletary's gone, leaving a 24% share of the opportunity. And that's going to flood to him. That's going to flood to Cook, maybe some other backs. But Damien Harris is in a good spot here, and he's in that part of the draft where you're just selecting running backs to backfill, hoping one of them hits, and Damien Harris could be one of those guys. 9 games with over a 72 pass block grade per PFF. That means he's going to be on the field. That means he's going to get some opportunity here and there. Red zone threat as well. So we're going to have some upside games here, and this is going to be an interesting spot for him. It's going to be fun to watch, see how he goes, but the price tag's so cheap here. You can get him and a bunch of other cheap backs, play the matchups, and see what you can get out of these late-round running backs. Another late-round running back, mid-round running back, whatever you're calling this guy's Devin Achane. We're shooting for pure upside here. Pure upside. You're a rookie, third-rounder, elite 4.32 speed, day 2 draft capital, nothing but upside. That's what you want when you're drafting around the RB40 range or so. You're shooting for upside. You're hoping to hit that home run. And if you strike out, you're just going back to the waiver wire and see what happens. Solid in the passing game. Can catch the ball out of the backfield, downfield a little bit. He's pretty much kind of a cheap Jahmyr Gibbs, but a little different. You're getting him at RB39. Great value brand. You also got Jeff Wilson, Raheem Mostert, Myles Gaskin. You got the other running backs there. But we're not focusing on that part. We're focusing on the portfolio that he's got upside to his name. We got that speed, maybe some boom weeks. And if it doesn't work out, we did not pay up for him. He's so cheap that we can go back to the waiver wire and start from scratch. Next, Samaje Perine, RB37, ADP. The Javonte Williams injury. Reports are looking good. Reports are saying he's exceeding expectations. But Perine's dependable. He can give you upside weeks. We saw that last year. We had some RB1 performances. He can catch the ball a little bit out of the backfield, but this guy rumbles between the tackles. He pass blocks well. He's a guy you can depend on. That's what the Broncos are going to need. He can help this team at this price tag. If something's happening with Javonte Williams, you got a guy that could possibly get you a workload that could get you through your week in fantasy. Next is Tank Bigsby, RB46 ADP. Really, here's what you're buying. You're buying Trevor Lawrence. You're buying the Jaguars offense. You're getting a guy drafted in the 3rd round who could be getting some opportunity, and you're getting him at a cheap price tag. When you're around RB50 range, when you're in the back part of your draft, you're taking flyers at running back. You want to take flyers on these unknown guys with draft capital and good offenses that you know that maybe if something happens, maybe exceed expectations, and maybe we get more than expected. Tank Bigsby could do that. One thing we like about his profile is he's not the greatest running back out there. He's not the fastest, the burstiest. But you know what? He's a little bit good at everything. He can do everything where they can plug him in, give him some run between the tackles, give him a little bit of run outside, let him do this, let him do that. He's not going to let the team down. The offense is going to fuel production. We have Travis Etienne there. But this team's going to be around the goal line. They're going to want to use Tank Bigsby on the goal line in situations that could give them some boom weeks. And this offense is going to be moving. And we're looking at back-end running backs. We're looking at those RB2s. You want RB2s on good offenses. You also want RB2s who are talented. Third-round draft pick from the SEC. Big-time recruit coming out of high school. There's some good things to his profile. Here we're going to be looking at Roschon Johnson, RB48 ADP. It's not going to be too long until he's the starting running back in Chicago. It's not going to be too long. He's good in pass protection, 4.28 yards after contact per attempt. He can bang it between the tackles, also can catch out of the backfield a little bit. Good burst, good size. He has tons of upside. Now we want to talk about Zamir White, RB64. Probably going to go undrafted in a lot of leagues. Probably going to go in the last few rounds of a lot of leagues. Something happens to Josh Jacobs. There's a lot of upside here. 96 percentile speed score. Dude can zip it between the tackles. He can maximize some upside. Of course, Amir Abdullah, Brandon Bolden, other running backs. Of course. Damian Williams, other guys here in the depth chart. But Zamir White is who you're chasing here because the upside he presents due to that size-adjusted speed, that size-adjusted athleticism. That is what you want. Still only in his second year of his career, we could see Zeus do some things. Tajay Spears, RB53 and ADP. Again, the Titans like to run the ball. Something happens to Derrick Henry, they're still going to want to run the football because that is what's programmed in their playbook, what they've been operating off of. They have DeAndre Hopkins. They can go more pass heavy, but they're still going to be using the running backs. He's a third-round pick, can catch the ball in the backfield, looks good between the tackles, very electric. Is fun to watch and could transition well to an NFL game if something happens. Unfortunately, hopefully it doesn't, but if something happens, he's a player that could do something. You may not even be drafting him. He might be on waivers at the end of your draft, but he's an upside flyer that you need to be looking at here in 2023 for your fantasy leagues. But those are 12 running backs that we're looking at who have upside, who could help us out, like who could help us win our leagues. These are some running backs that you need to take a look at. I'll have more on the channel, of course, that will be rolling out, but you need to hit that subscribe button so you can stop missing these episodes. I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.